Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do an in-depth video on the power of compound interest, not only in the stock market, but in the real estate market as well, and actually in the totality of my life. Today, I really want you to take a deep dive with me into the understanding of why Warren Buffett called this a seventh wonder of the world, and why this is so important, especially when you're young. If you are 35 or under, or if you know anyone who's 35 and under, and it's not all about you, it's about their success, it's about their financial freedom, then you definitely want to stay tuned and watch this video. If you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that like button, make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you're notified every single time that I drop a new video. Today is really important, and you know I like to give you a deep dive into my life. As I'm reading a book on asset protection, I'm getting more weary about disclosing my assets. Believe it or not. But at the same time, I do believe that for those good souls out there, for those kind people out there, that as I provide you this value, as I provide you this content, you won't use it against me. You'll only use it for your self-improvement, for your own benefit. When I started investing, I was 18 years old. I had a friend who was invested in penny stocks. And, at that point, I wasn't really investing. I was just buying companies, because that's essentially what you're doing when you buy stocks. You're buying a company. You see Nike, you're buying a piece of Nike. McDonald's, you're buying a piece of McDonald's. And it felt so good for the first time. I didn't think about it like most people think about it. And it's also about your mindset. You have to understand what is in your mind. Broke people are not poor people. A poor person will remain poor their entire life. A broke person is only broke for today. It's a time thing. You're only broke for a time. But poor is a mentality that's forever. So you have to understand who you are. When I saw my friend investing in penny stocks, I said, I will invest, but not in pennies. I'm a big boy. I'll invest in Nike. I'll invest in Sony. I'll invest in McDonald's. When I walked into McDonald's, I thought I owned the place. I only had about $200 invested in McDonald's at the time, and I felt like they should be handing me free burgers. Like, give me some of that. Every time I paid for a McDonald's burger, I knew I was gaining some dividends, some interest. I was contributing to the success of McDonald's. Therefore, I was also contributing to the success that I would have in the stock market, because as their stock price goes up, I get paid. So not only am I eating and enjoying myself, but I'm also paying myself. And to me, I felt like it was a win-win. I'm investing in companies that pay me. So from there on, I learned one valuable rule that you're about to learn right now just by watching this video. The first rule is invest in things that you actually like and use. Because now, everything that I buy makes me more money. Video games, okay, Sony. I'll buy some Sony. If you like Nintendo, buy Nintendo. If you like sneakers, buy your Nikes, buy your Jordans. If you like fast food, Burger King, McDonald's, Popeyes, buy Restaurant Incorporated, buy the whole chain. If you like to fly, buy Delta, and they pay dividends. Look for all the companies that pay you a dividend. Now, those companies are giving you an extra interest. Here's why I like dividends. Let me tell you again. Here is why I like dividends rather than growth stocks. A growth stock goes up in value, like Tesla, which is actually one of my highest holdings, if not my highest holding outside of Facebook, or Apple in my portfolio. And Apple is a dividend stock, but it grows exponentially. A growth stock, if you sell it, that's when you can use the profits. But a dividend stock pays you every 3 months, every quarter, every month, whichever, however they break down or fall down. And you can use that without touching your actual initial principal and investment. I know that this may be going over some people's head, but for all of you following along, I don't actually have to sell my initial investment in order to use my dividends. Because of that, I will always make the same amount, if not more, as long as I take less dividends out every month than what I'm getting in return. I will actually continue to make more money as I spend money. And that is the goal that I had for myself when I decided to start dividend investing. If I make 200 in dividends every single month, but I only take 150, that means I have an additional $50 in dividends growing for me every single month. Now I make $201, I only take 150. Now I have $51 in dividends growing for me every month. As long as I always take less of the dividends than what I've received, I will continue to make more money and I'll continue to use the same amount of money. And this will allow me to always be getting richer and richer and richer. Now, what if I make $200 in dividends a month, but I spend absolutely nothing? And I allow that to continue to grow. I allow that to continue to compound. Well, guess what? When I first started really focusing on dividend investing, I was, it was 2019, I had just graduated college. I was still doing a little bit of options trading, and I made a few mistakes in the real estate market, in the investment stock market. But here's the thing. I started to save. I started to do a lot of investments with Acorns, and I had about $10,000 in investments, but I only had put $9,000 in, so I made $1,000 in about a year span. I used that $10,000 to purchase my first vehicle, and then the rest I put on a car loan. If you watch my last video, I talked about how I paid off my car loan. So essentially, I made $1,000 in investments, and then I used the total $10,000 package in order to buy a car. After that, I started investing again. This time, I used that investments as well as my savings in order to buy my first home. All right? But by the time I got to my first home, I was a true dividend investor now. After 7 years of understanding different investment strategies, I realized that the one that I wanted most was dividend investing. So in 2020, when I was purchasing my first home, I was also becoming solidified in my stance of long-term dividend investing. In the first month, I made about 2 pennies in dividends. By the end of the year, I was probably making about 50 cents in dividends. By the end of next year, I was probably making about $1 a month in dividends. Now, fast forward to today, I make $50 a month in dividends alone. Okay? My strategy outside, I'm not even talking about my 401k, which I invest 14% of my income in every single month. I'm just talking about my individual stock market account. I'm telling you, I have so many different investments that are giving me compound interest every single day. And we're going to talk about every single last one of them. Do not use this against me. But I'm trying to make you as smart as me, if not smarter, because not only will you understand everything that I'm telling you today, but you're also going to understand what you can do in order to make a lot of money. What you can do in order to be the best version of yourself. What you can do that I don't even know about, that you can implement on top of what I'm doing in order to be financially free and financially successful. So, what did I do? All right. Here was the mindset that I had. The first mindset was I need to make $30 a month because that's how much my phone bill is. And actually, I'm lying. My first mindset is I need to make $1 in dividends every single month. And here's the reason. I grew up very poor. If I can make $1 in dividends every single month, that means once a month I would be able to afford a burger from McDonald's. When I was a kid, a burger was about $1.05. But they would still give me the burger for $1 and take the taxes off for the kid. And so I felt like if I was really struggling, if I was really in need, I would be able to get a burger for $1. Cool. But how would I survive for the next 30 days? I wouldn't be able to. So now instead of making $30 a month, I needed to make $30. Instead of making $1 a month, I needed to make $30 a month. I needed to be able to eat every single day. I needed to at least be able to afford $1 burgers every single day. So now the next goal of mine was to make $1 a day. I reached that goal within the 3-year time span that I've had my individual account. All right, now that I've reached $30 a day, 6 months would pass, and then I would be at 35. It was not too long ago that I was telling you that I now have $45 a month in income coming into my stock market account in just dividends alone. And now, as I speak to you today, I make $50.5 a month in dividends. So $50.50 a month in dividends alone. How do I invest in my individual stock market account? Well, I'm glad that you asked. How I invest: every December or January, I invest $6,000, which means in January, I will have an exponential increase in how much I earn every single month. Right now it's $50.50, but that will increase by so much, it's not even funny. Okay? And on top of the $6,000 that I do in a lump sum, I also invest $100 a month. Why do I do it this way? Well, I don't like investing a large sum of money every single month. And so what I like to do is I like to do one lump sum so that I can invest a little bit every single month. The little bit doesn't seem as aggressive. It doesn't seem like it's a chokehold on me in order to do it. So for example, instead of doing $600 a month every single month into my individual investment account, it just feels a lot easier to just do one $6,000 payment and then $100 a month every single month. It just feels so much easier, so much lighter on me. I don't have to worry about $500-$600 every single month. And every single time in December, I'm always gonna have the money because I just save so much. That's just what it is for me. And I just feel more comfortable not spending $600-$700 a month on that. And so because I have so many assets and so many other investments, the $100 that I spend, it seems like absolutely nothing when it's being invested. So on top of that, you already know, okay, this guy invests $6,000 at the beginning of every year, and he puts $100 every single month into his investment account that now has a dividend income of $50.50. Next year, it will be more. The following year, it will be more. The following year, it will be more. All right? What else does this guy do? Well, I was only talking about my individual stock market account, but I actually have 2 401ks and 2 Roth IRAs. And I don't even check the 401ks and Roth IRAs. I just know that it's going up in value. I just checked it. I just checked the newest 401k, not even 401k, the newest Roth IRA that I have that is taking 14% of my income with a 5% company match, I might add. And that 5% company match is almost $100. Actually, it's more than $100 a month. It's about almost $200 a month in a company match that I'm receiving because I invest 14% of my income every single month. So imagine getting a free $200 a month that is already 100% vested, unlike Amazon where I didn't get any of my bonuses or any of that stuff. I am getting 100% of everything that I work for every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks that I invest. And although it's very, very little right now because I've only been at the company for 4 months, I am getting almost a free $200. So when I get a raise, when I get bonuses, whenever I get anything else, if I add that to my income, it's just going to continue to go up. Now, I don't know if my Roth IRA has dividends or anything like that, but if I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of I have a company match that's matching the money that I put in of almost $200, I'm essentially making more in my 401k that I'm making as an individual investor right now. Let me say that again. I'm making more in my Roth IRA than I'm making as an individual investor right now. And as an individual investor who's been investing for 3 good years into that long-term account, an account that I've only had for 4 months is making me more money in earned income rather than passive income, right? And because of that, I can build on top of my returns so much more quickly. And understand that in the stock market alone, I am spending $13 to $14 to $15,000 a year just in the stock market. At least 13 to 15,000 a year goes directly into the stock market. So for a lot of you, I'm gonna be completely transparent. Out of all the money I make after taxes, that's probably a fifth, maybe even a fourth of my income after taxes. And so yes, I invest a ton into the stock market. So it is possible. You just have to really, really want that for yourself. Now, if I did that for 5 more years, if I did that for 10 more years, where would my life be, right? Not only would I be able to pay off all of my properties that I have right now, even though I plan to buy more, but I would just be so much in a better situation because, again, compound interest is what we're talking about. Understand that every time I invest every single month $100, I am getting more dividends from that $100. When I invest $6,000 lump sum, I'm getting more dividends. That $50.50 was $45 a month. That was $30 a month. That was $1 a month. That was 2 pennies a month. Now I'm making $50.50 every single month from my dividends alone. And I'm adding to that every single month with an extra $100, with an extra $100, with an extra $100, and then $6,000 at the beginning of every year. I'm always making more and more and more every single month. Every single month that you see me, just understand we're in September now. By October, I'm richer. November, I'm richer. December, I'm even richer. And January, forget about it. Okay? Forget about it. Because I understand what putting my money away does for me. My money makes me more money than I could ever make at work. And I'm telling you this because I continue to do what I'm supposed to do so that by the time I decide to have kids, by the time I decide to take somebody seriously, my life was already set before I met her. My life was already set before I did anything with anyone else. Okay? So, before I even get into my Roth IRA and all that other stuff, understand that I am making money by 2 different stocks, 2 different stock markets accounts so effortlessly. Now let's transition into the real estate. I have 2 properties, as you all know. The way I look at this is that the interest compounds the other way because I'm trying to get rid of it. I'm trying to get rid of the interest that I pay on the property so that now I'm getting only cash flow. So I add principal to my accounts every single month. I actually put an extra $100, maybe like $150 every single month on each account. So I'm adding to the principal. I had a 30-year payoff on both of my properties. It's now significantly less than that. One house is supposed to be paid off in 26 years. The other house is supposed to be paid off in 28 years. I've already had both of my properties for 2 years. And on top of that, I add an additional $300 every month. $300 every December to each property before the year begins. It's my Christmas present to myself. So that's an additional $600 in principal that goes towards my properties every December, and then $100 every single month that goes towards the properties year round. What does that do? Well, that takes away about $1,300 in principal every single year towards these properties. And the less money, the less the property was valued at when you purchased it, the more that impacts the property. So I have one property that was worth $215 when I purchased it, now worth $250, and another property that was worth $140 when I purchased it, now worth $186, right? Obviously, the one that's worth $140 when I purchased it, this principal is going to impact it more than it does the 200 plus property. But understand that any principal that I put down is just adding to the fires, is making it faster for me to pay it off. So now I'm paying 86 cents less in interest, $1 less in interest, and $1 more in principal, $1 more in principal. And that was kind of the mindset that I had. There was a time where I was only getting 67 cents in extra principal every single month when I would pay the mortgages. And there was a time where I was getting 87 cents on the other one every single month when I would pay the mortgages. The first goal was, okay, how can I make $1 in principal every month so that it's going down $1 in interest and it's going up $1 in principal? The next goal I have was, how do I make it $2? $2. I'm not quite there at the $2 mark yet, but that's the next goal, right? And then the goal after that will be $5. At that point, I can probably just pay off the property in cash. That's another goal of mine, is to be able, without digging into my 401k or Roth IRA, maybe just my savings account alone, I should be able to pay off these properties with just my savings alone, right? So that's another goal. First goal is to be making $1 more and $1 less in interest. $1 more in principal every month, $1 less in interest. That's the first goal. Then the second goal is 2, then 5, and then, oh shit, I should be able to pay it off. All right? So that's the mindset that I have when it comes to that. So not only am I making more money every single month in the stock market, not only am I getting richer every single month in the stock market, but every single time I pay off my home, I'm paying it off quicker because I'm adding principal to it. And on top of that, I'm getting richer because I have more equity. I have more equity. I owe less to the banks. So every single month, I get richer as well in real estate because I don't owe as much on the homes. So not only am I compounding interest in the stock market, but I'm also compounding principal in the real estate market. So every single month when I tell you I get richer and richer, it is not a joke. It is not a game. I'm literally getting richer on both sides. And this is why I like long-term investing. I don't have to think, am I going to be richer this month? Am I going to make more money this month? Am I going to get more cash this month? No, I don't have to think. I know I will. I know I'm going to get richer because I add more to my investments. I know I'm going to get richer because I'm paying off my principal and I'm paying off my interest and I'm adding to my principal. So I don't have to think about it. My job does not have to pay me $1 more, but I know that I'm going to get more money because I invest in my Roth IRA. They have to pay me that 5% extra. So I already make 5% more at my job just because I invest and I take advantage of the company match. I already make more off of my property because I owe less to the banks in interest and I'm now putting more money back in my pocket. I already make more money in the stock market because my dividends is paying me, I'm paying myself, and every Christmas I say, ho, 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 I'm going to make it rain for me significantly. All right? And so when I dive deep into real estate, I don't even pay my own mortgages. I have not paid my mortgage for more than 1 month on both properties combined in the last 2 years. I've rented out my first property from after the first month, and I've had the same tenant for over 2 years now. And then the property that I currently live in, I've had tenants, I had roommates who have paid my mortgage for me from day one. Maybe not in full. Maybe I've had one roommate instead of 2 sometimes, but I've never paid a full mortgage payment after after the first property that I bought. All together, I've probably paid my mortgage in full once or twice in 2 years. In 24 months, I've probably paid my own mortgage in full once or twice. And I just got somebody to sign a new lease until December. So this year is essentially over with me not paying my mortgage. Not one time. And they want to extend until May of next year. And my other tenant is extended until June of next year. So I already have another half a year without me paying on the property that I live in. So literally I save all my money on top of me investing. All right. So I got the Roth IRA doing 14%. I got my dividends doing its job. After December, guess what? I'm back to saving because I only got to do $100 a month. And on top of that, I have people paying my mortgages. So I am just racking in the dough. I'm also starting a new business come October. So I'm going to be focused on making an extraordinary amount of money. Now, let's fast forward. Let's talk about more compound interest. Right now, there's high interest rates environment. I've been telling everybody to open up a high interest savings account. You don't have to get into certificates of deposits. You don't have to do all that. But understand a high interest savings account is where you need to be. These interest savings accounts are giving you 4 to 5% interest rates right now. 4 to 5% interest rates right now. There is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be making 4 to 5% on your money. If you have $100,000 and you're getting 4% on your money a year, you're making $4,000 a year. If you have $100,000 and you're getting 5% on your money a year, you're getting $5,000 a year that you did not have to work for. How many months do you need to go to work to make $5,000 after taxes? Even if you make $100,000 a year, that's what a month of free income that you're getting right now. And so what I'm telling you is there's absolutely no reason that you should not be making that type of money. Now, a lot of people might say, I don't have $100,000. Okay, if you had $50,000, now you're making $2,500 a year. Okay, I don't have $50,000. Okay, if you don't have $50,000 and you have $25,000, now you're making about $1,000 a year. $1,250. I don't have $25,000. If you have $100, you're still making 5% on that money, and you have to start somewhere. Understand that I was making 2 pennies in my investment account. 2 pennies. Now I make $50.50 every single month. I had to start somewhere. If I never started, I wouldn't be at $50. And you already know where I'm going to be in January. Higher, higher, and higher. If you don't want to be on that same trajectory, then stop watching my videos. But if you want to be there, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you tune in. Because I'm only going to teach you how to be rich, if not richer than me. If you make more money than me, you're not making more in passive investments. It's because you haven't had the knowledge. Now you got the knowledge. Put it into action. Put it into action. I am making over $150 a month in just savings. I didn't purchase a certificate of deposit. That's $150 in just savings every month. And it's going up because the $150 is being reinvested. All right? And I'm going to keep it gaining more money. I'm making 4.3% on my money right now in my savings account. All right? When the Fed raises interest rates one more time, which I believe they will do before the end of the year, that's going to go up from 4.3 to about 4.5%. All right? And when the Fed starts to think, when they start to think about lowering the interest rate, that's when I'm going to lock in my money in a penalty-free certificate of deposit for about 7 to 12 months so that I can gain a little bit more interest for the short term without locking in my money. So if there's a big deal that hits the market, I can invest in that. All right? And that way, I'm taking advantage of the high interest rates before they go back down, and then it's time to buy again, right? I don't want to lock up my money for 3-4 years because I know that I'm going to need it before then. But I can lock up my money for about 12 months without feeling like, oh, I'm missing the boat. I could possibly lock up my money for 2 years without feeling like I missed the boat. But after 2 years, no. There's going to be so much better investments to make. So that 4%, 5% return won't be enough for me at that point. But right now, I can tell you a risk-free investment at 4 or 5% is more than worth it. So you gotta do what you gotta do in order to get that compound interest. And then lastly, I do have certificates of deposits, but we're gonna skip that since it's in the same realm of high interest rate CDs. But I also have a Series I bond that was earning me 7% in interest. Now it's around 4.5%. So it's still doing a lot better than my high interest savings account right now. And I have some money in there. When that starts to go down even more, when that stops to yield the returns that it was yielding, then I'm going to say, okay, let me take that money out, put it in my savings, or take that money out and reinvest it. And that's how I'm going to go about that. But right now, even that Series I bond is gaining more compound interest, more compound interest, more compound interest. Everything I do is earning me interest from my savings account to my certificate of deposit, to my Series I bond, to my real estate, to my individual stock market account, to my Roth IRA account. And I'm probably missing a few things here. But I say all this to say, how do I not get richer every single month? How do I not get richer every single day? How do I not get richer every single year? I'm not even 30 years old yet. I just want you to all know that I am not even 30 years old yet. I got 4 more years to go before I'm 30. 4 more years to go. I'm not planning on having kids until at least 30, 31. At that point in time, where do you think I'll be? I'm already in the hundreds of thousands, already. And I'm trying to put you all on. I'm trying to show you what the power of compound interest will do for your life, do for your future. When I start to increase my technology, I'll be showing you physically the money. I'll be showing you these investments. I'll be showing you what I do in order to earn this type of return. And by that time, maybe a year or 2 from now, when I start to partner with some of my friends who really do know what they're doing on the technical side, you'll be seeing things that will shock the average person. I stopped showing off my investments a long time ago because people just weren't keeping up. And now it's really looking scary. It's really looking scary because I got tens of thousands ready to deploy at any time. And so I want you all on the same path. And if you watch this video to its fruition, I know you learned something from this video. There's absolutely no way you didn't learn anything. So you better hit that like button for me. You have to hit that like button for me, because who can't learn something from this? This is years and years and years of studying, years of learning, years of investing that I had to put forth, that I had to study, that I had to learn. Hours and hours of my time reading books, watching YouTube channels, doing all this extra work just to give it to you in one video. So much information, so much knowledge, too much to really take a grasp of. You're going to have to study CDs. You're going to have to study real estate. You're going to have to study the stock market. You're going to have to study house hacking. You're going to have to study Series I bonds. You're going to have to study compound interest, drip investing. You're going to have to study different stocks. You're going to have to study different companies. You're going to have to make a budget. You're going to have to understand your taxes. You're going to have to study asset protection. You're going to have to study government contracts. You're going to have to study all these other businesses that I'm going into. You're going to have to study when is the right time to invest, when you should deploy your money in the stock market, in the real estate market, in a high interest savings account, in a certificate of deposit, in a Series I bond, in other business, in angel investing, whatever it is. I'm giving you the information right now. How are you going to utilize it? How are you going to take it? How are you going to implement it into your life? If you're on the first stage, getting out of debt, having a budget, doing all these things, then it's not your time to start investing. It's your time to focus on clearing the deck and moving all those pieces and getting ready and being where you're supposed to be. But you will get there as long as you are watching me, as long as you are focused. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you're notified every single time that I drop a new video on YouTube or Rumble. And as you know, I will see you on the next one. Peace.